Hey everyone, it's Celeste, and I wanted to film my March TBR. I meant to do it over the weekend and I didn't get to it, so I'm just gonna do it really quickly. So to backtrack just a little, and I haven't filmed like my reads for February, but I did not do a very good job with my TBR in February. Looking at my February stats, I only finished 3 of the 10 books because it wasn't that I wasn't reading, I was just reading things that weren't on my TBR, so that's what happened with that. So like, I only started 30% of them and I only finished 30%, so not a very good job with the TBR. So that affected this month's TBR. And the thing about March is that it has 31 days, so like that kind of matters, and also has spring break. However, during this spring break, we are going on a trip. So I don't know if I'll be able to read as much as I normally would. I'm just not really sure. But you know, that's something that's there. So I went ahead and made a TBR for this month, and we'll see how I go. So the first 2 books that I have on my TBR, and it's kind of embarrassing, are The Well of Ascension and Ariadne. I started reading both of these in January and kind of put them on the back burner. Like Well of Ascension, you can see I'm like a quarter of the way in. It's over 700 pages long, and I'm over 200 pages into it, but you know, like we're talking hundreds of pages there. And then Ariadne, I'm halfway done with it. I just didn't focus on it because I was working on other things that popped up, and you know, that's okay. So my goal is primarily to either finish Well of Ascension or get to the halfway point. And then for Ariadne, I just need to sit down and finish it since I'm about halfway done. So those are the first 2 books on this TBR, and I feel pretty good about my goals on those. Like, I might not finish Well of Ascension. I know some people just devour books. I just don't. I work and I'm tired. When I come home, sometimes I'm tired. I can't do the kind of reading I would like to do. The next book is one that's carried over from previous TBRs, and that is The Summoning by J.P. Smith. I've heard some not great things, but I feel like I want to read it and see how I feel about it. And it's got like that spooky stuff going on. I believe it's the one that has to do with like a spirit medium person who is not really, they're like more of a con, and they get involved in actual creepy, spooky stuff. And so I'm still interested in that, and it's not terribly long, and the font and the margins make me feel like I'll be okay with it. Like, it's not like extremely dense. I got my TBR card right here off screen too. That's what that noise is and stuff. Okay, so those are the first 3. The next one that I had picked out was more for like Valentine's Day. So sorry y'all, I felt like I was about to sneeze. It's more for Valentine's Day, but I do want to read it, and it is The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. I might not get to it because you'll see. You'll see why I might not get to it, but I went ahead and put it on my TBR for this month again, like scooched it over. Like a lot of this TBR is scooched over from other TBR stuff. Speaking of scooched over, I scooched over The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. This book is written in verse, so I feel like I should be able to get through it pretty quickly. I didn't even start it last month, to be quite honest. So I'm going to try to make it a priority one of these weekends, okay? Another book that I had on my TBR, it was sort of like a backup to the TBR, like a part of the TBR, but not like a main part of the TBR, is Where the Drowned Girls Go by Shauna McGuire. And this one, if it gets bumped, like it's small, it's short, so I should be able to read it really quickly. Like, I know some people could read this in one sitting, but y'all, I don't read fast, and I'm tired, and I'm busy, so, like, I might not be able to read it in one sitting, but I should be able to read it, like, within a couple of days. I don't know, 2 or 3 sittings, but I really want to be caught up with the Wayward Children series, and I'm interested in the premise of this. This takes us into another home for children who don't feel like they belong in our world after they've gone through their doors. And so it's kind of like, I find it interesting, like, okay, we're used to one place, now let's see what another is. I feel like that's going to make it super interesting. I don't have a copy of it. I don't have a physical copy, but for my audiobooks, I decided I wanted to listen to These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I don't have a physical copy of it, so I can't show it to you. It is in my Audible, and it's been in my Audible. Like, I don't know why I haven't, but I know some people are really, like, just really love it, and so I'm gonna give it a shot. It's a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in Shanghai, I think in the 1920s. There's a little bit of a supernatural element, and that's pretty much what I know about it. So yeah, like that's, because I don't think I added any audiobooks last time. Like, I think I focused on physical books, and I think that's part of the reason why I didn't get through as many, is because a good fair portion of my reading is audiobooks. Like, that's just, I commute, so that's how it is. Speaking of audiobooks, I am both going to read using the physical copy of this book and the audiobook to get through this. So the way that I do that is, if I'm home, I can flip the pages and read through it as I'm listening to it. And then whenever I'm in the car, I just listen to it. And then when I get a chance, I can sit down with the physical book and sort of skim through, you know, because I'm a visual person, so having the copy of the book is really helpful. And so I wanted to go ahead and get to this. Like, I don't even think it'll count. Like, for those of you who don't know, Book of the Month in their app has like challenges embedded. And so when you finish one of your Book of the Month books, you go in and you write like this really short little like thing, and you rank it like you loved it or you liked it or you didn't like it or whatever. And then it could count towards the little challenges or whatever. It gets it off your bookshelf or whatever. And this one, I think I've had it too long. I don't think it'll count for my challenge this year, but I still want to get to it. I haven't read anything from Lucy Foley, and I know people love Lucy Foley, so I need to like try something out, because one of the choices this month, like, was a Lucy Foley book. I won't give any more details because I don't want to be spoilery. And I know several people who picked it, and I didn't pick it because I'm like, I don't know that I want to read it because I don't know how I feel about Lucy Foley. So I'm gonna listen and read that one, but using the audiobook and the physical book. See how I like it. On my Kindle, I don't always talk about my Kindle reading. So my Kindle isn't really a Kindle. I have a Kindle, like a Paperwhite, but my Kindle itself, like, doesn't charge properly, and I've had that problem with several Kindles. So what I do is I use the Kindle app on either my phone or my little iPad mini, which that's pretty much all I use my iPad mini for. And I read, you know, like I don't even know if I should have it, but I have like Prime Reading or like Kindle Unlimited or whatever. And so I get books from there, and then sometimes there's some on sale and I end up buying them, and it's like, I really prefer them physically, but I also like them, like the idea of them being in my Kindle makes sense to me because there's not enough room in my house for all these books. But anyway, that's a whole other discussion for another time. But I picked out on my Kindle to read Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. Years ago, I read The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, and I really enjoyed it. So I don't think this one has as many good reviews as The Hating Game, but I'm curious to see about it. And the premise of it is, you've got this woman who works in a retirement home, and she's sort of like not really big on like dating and romance. Like she's kind of sheltered a little bit, and she meets like a handyman, repair guy, I guess. And so I'm, you know, I'm interested in that interests me. Okay, cool. Let's see what it's like. And you know, and like reading another Sally Thorne, give Sally Thorne another chance. Like I like the Hating Game. Let's see what else she's got. Then I could sub this out, so I almost hate to say it, but I did scooch over Neon Gods by Katie Robert. I do want to read this book, but there's other books. I know, isn't it? You know what we all say, like, there's other books. So I forgot that today is March 1st. And I had pre-ordered Gallant. So I'm probably going to sub Gallant in there. In fact, I'll probably read it sooner than later. It's this cute little square book, right? And today is its birthday. It's publication day. It is, I think it's middle grade. Middle grade or YA. I think it's middle grade. It has some like really darling like illustrations in it. And it's got like pages that are not just plain. V. Schwab is one of my auto buy authors. When I find out that she is releasing a book, I either pre-order it or I make it a point to like go out and get it pretty quickly. And so here it is. I went ahead and pre-ordered it. And then the other book that I really would like to read is The Golden Couple. I got this last month in my book of the month and I haven't read it. And I've been hearing, you know, talk of it, and I want to see what I think of it. And my current book of the month books are on their way. I should have them probably in the next 5 days, I think. And I'm excited about them. One of them is the new Simone St. James, and I like her writing and I like her books. And so I might, you know, like I make these TBRs, but then I didn't do a very good job last month, so I'm feeling a little pressure to like do a better job. So that's 12 books. That's 12 books. We'll see what kind. I've been averaging a pretty fair bit of reading, but like I said, March is sort of like it could go one way, it could go another. Like I don't really know. But anyway, so that's my TBR. A lot of like titles we've seen before because I scooched them over. But yeah, I'm gonna try to read some of those for, you know, various reasons. I will be uploading a video soon about the books that I did read in February, because I did get a lot of reading done in February and I'm excited to talk about those books. So that video will be coming soonish. So anyway, thanks for watching, and if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.